Here's a drill press table that I made about 10 years ago, and I'll show you how you can make your own very easily. The table itself is made out of 3/4 inch particle board, and then I just made a couple channels here and here and put in some T-rail, which you can buy in any of the better woodworking stores. And then the other part of this is this fence. This fence simply rides on this T-rail, and then these little clamps, when you clamp them down, it holds the fence in place. Now these clamps itself are, as far as I know, no longer available. I bought them from Hartfield Tool Company, but I don't think they sell the clamps anymore. You could, however, do the same thing with, these type of little hold downs, and you can readily buy these still anywhere. So the fact that you can't get those clamps, which they used to call Moby clamps, don't let that discourage you from building one of these tables. Now, the front of this fence is an aluminum rail, and there's two of them, and they just attach by a little, again, hardware that you can use or that you can buy from Incra and other places for this type of purpose. And this is how the rail looks. There's two of them, so it's a split fence, and then there is a scale on here, and you can actually move this scale back and forth. Now the beauty of this is on the back. If you're not really familiar with the Incra system, it's actually a wonderful system in being able to make repetitive cuts. In the back here, if I can get it in the more favorable light, there's actually teeth in this little black rail here. There's small teeth in here that are 1/32 of an inch apart. The same is on here, on this little black piece. These are also teeth that are 1/32 of an inch apart. And the way these work is when you put this against this rail and then you tighten this down, once you know what your dimension is here, for instance, and then you were to take this scale and move it to, say, the 1 inch mark, and say you drilled your first hole. Now if you wanted another hole an inch from there, you simply would loosen this and run. You can hear the teeth. When you run it to 2, there's only one spot where this is actually going to fit perfectly, right there, and that's at 1/32 of an inch increments. And then when you tighten this, this is exactly 1 inch from the previous mark. So I mean, this thing is very, very accurate when used like this, and you're going to find that you can make repetitive cuts without any problems or any issues. And this is called a shop stop. It is highly adjustable. If you loosen this screw here, you can raise or lower this little stop here. And this screw here, when you loosen this, will allow you to bring this pin in and out. So you have adjustment on this side. And then there's a micro adjustment on the top. You actually have to hold with your finger, hold this so that pressure points down so that it's still engaged in the teeth there. You just loosen these slightly, and then when you loosen these, you can move this back and forth, while at the same time maintaining the indexing with that. And in fact, you can run this all the way to the end here, and then with this screw, as it moves in, you're slightly adjusting this whole thing that way. So there's a lot of adjustability in this stop. And what this actually will allow you to do, like I indicated before, is say you have a series of holes to drill. And say you brought this, aligned this up the way you wanted to line it, and then you were, say, to put your piece of wood in here, you then tighten this down real quick, and you can adjust this front to back, one side or both sides, so that you get the width you want. And then, of course, make your first drill. And then if you want to make it exactly next hole an inch away, take this, open it up, and then move it down until you see 3 inches on the scale. And then again, since this is on this little indexing, you know, it's going to be exactly at 3 inches, so you're not really relying on a scale so much, as a scale just gets you to the correct 1/32 tooth, if you can understand what that's coming from. And then of course just slide that down, and then the next hole you drill is going to be exactly 1 inch from the hole previous. And actually I've used this fencing system to make some very accurate repetitive cuts in a lot of things. Anytime you need to have some perfect layouts, then this is the way to do it. And in fact, if I were to drill a series of holes here and I wanted to come up and replicate it again, what I only have to do is to move this fence to the next row and then line it with the first hole, and then reset this, and then start the process all over again. So this is one thing that really turns your drill press from, you know, just something that sits in the corner to maybe one of the tools that you use most. Again, this is just all handmade, hand-built by me. This back piece is nothing more than a piece of particle board. Although it's 1 1/8 inch thick. And where do you find that kind of particle board? Well, where I found it is, this is actually from Lowe's, and it is particle board that they make stair rails with. So you can readily find a source of all the components you need. You can buy these T-slots from places like Woodpeckers, Hartfield Tools, I mean various places. The Incras, you know, you can buy all these items separately. In fact, at the end of this video I'll show my webpage where I have a detailed set of drawings available here, and available free of charge. This is something, a free gift for me. So you can dimension this out to your drill press and make your own. Now, one thing about this one is that there is a cutout in the back here, and this cutout from the back is to accommodate. There's a crank back here that raises and lowers this table, and with this particular drill press, it would be in the way if this was all the way across. So I did have to make that one accommodation. And then also I just made a little sacrificial board here so that after repetitive drillings you can just put a new one in. Anyway, if this is something that you'd like to see, visit my webpage and pick up the plans. I have the source of all the parts that I bought, and unfortunately, like I said, these I couldn't find that there are any available anymore from Hartfield. So you may have to find them if you like this style, this clamping style. If you like that, then you may have to find them somewhere else. Or, as I said, you can certainly use a little, this is just got a nut in here. And you know, if you removed this clamp, the clamp itself, you could put the nut in here and you could tighten it down the same. So it's not really a showstopper in that case. Well, thanks for watching.